In this city, crime has no chance. There's a hero that no bad guys can understand. With the powers of a spider and his handy webs, he's spectacular. Yes, that's right. It's the Arachnid Enforcer.
This is the Inkpulp podcast.
All right, welcome, Inkpulp Live or what is this called? The Inkpulp podcast. Thank you for having us, Shawn. That you're not here. Congratulations on finally taking a vacation. This is episode 200 and something.
We took over, and Shawn is now coming back.
Shawn let it slip.
We changed all the passwords and stuff.
Yeah. Shawn doesn't get part. Like all the branding is different now. You know what I mean? We're slowly converting it away from the Titanic, shipwreck that was that previous version. What episode is this? Anybody know? Jamie, you've been doing this for a while.
455.
I'm gonna say 261. That's a total guess. That's a total guess. I don't know how many episodes are in the can, but if that's right.
Probably,
and by the way, we kind of improvised this one.
In what way?
And we improvised this episode. It was not scheduled. So now I'm wondering, like, what's going through Shawn's head, because now he's got to change everything in his old calendar, change the names of the episodes and everything is scheduled.
You guys just ruined his holiday. That's it.
Vacation
ruined.
The whole vacation is ruined.
Yeah, he sent
panicking the whole week.
I think it was either in our chat or me directly. I said, "Hey, there's nothing scheduled for this Friday," and he's like, "Oh, I'm on vacation." And he sent a photograph of him sitting on like some beautiful beach, white sands, beautiful blue water. And I go like, "Oh, okay." And then in our chat, I said like, "Anybody want to jump on really quick?" And in my head, I'm like, "I want to ruin your vacation. This is what you get for taking a breather and having some time away." Just kidding, Shawn. I hope you're enjoying yourself. You've been busting your butt for however long you deserve it, pal. So get out of here.
I think, by knowing Shawn, I think that if you pushed a little bit on his sense of guilt, you wouldn't convince them somehow to record the episode. Like just go to a bar and do it, or in his hotel room.
What do you think it would take to like make him start feeling like pulling on that guilt string?
Oh, it doesn't take much. Like I remember, what was it? Like 3 weeks ago, we had a discussion with a person about something. It wasn't a big argument. It was just, a discussion. Yeah. And we were actually right. Like nobody was really wrong. Okay. But for certain, we were not wrong. So we weren't doing, and the discussion was a really nice, normal conversation. Yeah. And at the end, he texted me immediately and he was like, "I feel so bad. I think we should give him a gift or something." Immediately.
Yeah.
And I needed, for a second, I needed to bring him back to reality. I was like, we didn't do anything wrong. We don't need to give a gift to this person, Yeah. And he wanted to buy an expensive one. It wasn't like we're going to buy him a fountain pen or something. Yeah. He was thinking about buying original art or something. I was like, dude, why? For what?
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's just it doesn't take much. And I think he's already feeling it right now. The idea that we're all in a room together and hanging out, I bet you he's somewhere. He's 3 hours ahead of me.
Catholic Jew ever.
Catholic Jewish guy. Yeah, he's lashing himself right now. He's got like a band on his leg with spikes on it. Okay.
Yeah.
Shawn, jokes aside, pal, thank you for giving us keys to the back room that is this podcast. And we're going to try not to ruin it for you.
But whatever.
How are you boys doing?
By the way, Jamie, I've been meaning to ask you this the last time we recorded and you were on. Are you losing weight?
I'm trying, dude. I'm trying my best.
Oh, that's good on you, pal.
I am, I don't know pounds. I don't know. I am 20 kilograms.
Are you stones?
Down.
Okay, yeah, that's 40.
20
that's
kilograms, dude. Yeah. It's like 45
right
pounds.
Yeah.
For almost 50 pounds. Dude, man.
It's time to start down. It's time to start upgrading the shirts. Whatever you're wearing, one size down, buddy, or one size down. Yeah.
No, not quite yet, Eric. Slowly getting there, but not quite yet. You'll see me like I'll be like Matteo. I'll just be on basketball jerseys by next month. That'll be me.
Yeah, it's time to start showing off those muscles, pal.
So is that both like a combination of diet and gym, or just straight up Ozempic?
Drugs, just hard drugs. Let me say this: like it's clearly Jamie is gonna go on a big trip soon. I think he's got a documentary to shoot, and he's just trying. Like he knows, man. He knows I'm gonna be on camera and all. I'm gonna meet people, in real life. And
that was the impetus, Eric. When I got told I was coming out to OAX to meet you guys and stuff like that, I was like, dude, I'm going to take pictures that I'll look back on for years. Because I don't know if I'll get the opportunity to come out again. I might not. And I was like, I want to be fat in these pictures, man. I want to feel good about them. So
I'm going the other way. By the time we see each other in Orlando, I'm just like, give me that hamburger. Speaking of, I sent you guys a bunch of behind the scenes or like old school pictures of us, and it was pretty cool to go back memory lane. There's a picture of Matteo that's unrecognizable. Like it's a picture of Jamie. When you put this up, it's a picture of Jason. It's a picture of Jason and Maddie.
Yeah.
Kind of like having a romantic interlude, and letting me into that moment of their bromance. And Maddie is unrecognizable. Jason hasn't changed. One. Jason hasn't changed, but Maddie looks unrecognizable. The reason why I went down...
Jason has changed, man.
What do you mean?
Jason has changed a lot.
What do you mean?
Like, if you confront from this picture...
Yeah.
He has changed a lot.
To what he looks like now, you mean?
Yeah, he's got like 40 pounds heavier. No hair as well, so similar to me.
I thought you meant like emotionally. He's changed a lot. He's matured.
No, that will never happen if you talk about Jason. But
yeah. He's always going to be like the Chicken McNuggets kid. The reason why I bring it up is, I think I'm close to the grave. Mark this moment, September 26th. I think I'm pretty much going to be done by January 1st, 2026. I'm going to be, you guys going to be burying my...
your colors, you're already past the grave. You're already in hell. So.
I'm speaking to you from hell is what I'm communicating. No, I reflect on the choices that we've made in order to get this far. And I wanted to bring this up with Jamie first, which was, was there a point when you reached out to Shawn, right? You said, hey, Shawn, let me, your show looks like shit. Can I please come and help you somehow, right?
But over the course of like 2 years, I reached out to Shawn.
That's 2 years of you trying to convince this ugly, ugly girl to come and go to take you to the prom, or like, can you take him to the prom? Was there a point in which you said, maybe this isn't going to work out? Let me just go touch base with somebody who actually understands my value. You know what I mean? Like, was there somebody else?
I was pretty relentless, Eric. Yeah.
What the hell, man?
See, if you look at the first time I reached out to Shawn, he said, not right now, but maybe in like 6 months. And if you check the DMs 6 months later to the day, I had a reminder set on my phone to message him.
Really?
6 months later. Yeah.
I got to question your choices, man. But anyway, like, what is there was
Eric,
the reason why...
Sorry to interrupt, but do you think we're then overpaying Jamie? Because if he wanted so bad, we could have, negotiated his price.
No,
if he wanted it so bad, maybe he would have done it for free. I didn't know you care so much about being on the podcast. I don't know about this 2 years before it happened. So if I knew... I would have tried to.
I think Jamie understood his value, and it was undercharging at first, like a proper drug dealer, like
First
introduced you. The first dose is always so cheap, and then the next one just progressively gets more
Not only
expensive.
cheap is the best one, and then that's when you start adding shit
He
to it.
starts lacing
and
everything
make it
on.
worse. Yeah,
Let's
yeah, yeah.
demonetize this podcast and this episode super duper fast, and let's start talking about drug use. The reason why I bring it up is we've gotten. I mean, again, there is this L bracket to our trajectory when it comes to the show, and I think it's got a whole lot to do with you coming on board and polishing this turd up, Jamie. But I was thinking to myself, like,
There's another factor, but whatever.
I disagree with you, but live your life. At some point,
My
I was curious
imaginary
if there was
reality.
if there was a way where you were just like, okay, enough, I'm just going to go in another direction. And the reason why I bring that up is because there's that picture of me and Matteo, and you should bring it up now. There was nothing guaranteed there that we're going to be as close as we were. You know what I mean? Like there's literally a photo. I think it's the most cordial. Mateo's leaning over the table. He looks like a really, really happy guy. He looks miserable now. And I was wearing different colors back then. So there was still hope in me, and now there isn't. But it could have gone completely different. You know what I mean? But then every subsequent photo that we take together, I'm like, oh, we're starting to get along to the point where we're friends. And at any point in that timeline, we could have sliding doors and have been like, I'm out of here. I'm just going to go hang out with better people, Was there a point of that for you, Jamie? Was there a point where you're like, where is the ejection lever for me to get out? It doesn't even have to do with this relationship. Just like early when you're like, I have better things to do with my time. I could lose weight for somebody else,
I don't think so, Eric. The goal for me was always comics, to work in to somehow wriggle my way into the comic book industry. And
maybe we could Back to the Future it, and Jamie, go find better quality people. Maddie, there was I know for you there was situations in which you were like, is this the right crew to hang out with? Especially now that we're talking about Jason. You were the fourth guy that Jason brought on, fifth guy, fourth.
I think fourth. I think it started with you, Stefan,
right?
And then it was me and another bunch of guys.
I think it was Sarah
Dave,
before
Andrew.
you, right?
Yeah, Sarah, but then Sarah left.
Right, smartly, I think.
Yeah,
right. She was like,
she's the smart one. Yeah.
She understood. She understood that it was a boy show,
And then it was me. But in terms of the first show we did together,
yeah.
In the meantime, when Jason and I started working together, then our first show was gonna be New York. And by then, he already had new clients like Dave Johnson, Dan Panosian,
Andrew Robinson.
Andrew Robinson. Yeah.
Was there a point in especially, looking at that Emerald City Comic Con show, was that before? I'm going to say that's after New York Comic Con?
Yeah, after, before. Because New York was the first one for me with Jason. Yeah.
So at that second show, third show that you did?
Oh, I cannot.
Early though.
I cannot
early,
say.
Right? It's got to be taught like first 10, right? First dozen.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And were you like, dude, I don't like this is the place that I want to hang out in? Or was it because, like, similar to Jamie, there was no other game in town that was even, pretty girl that was talking to you at that point? You're like, I'll just stay.
No, you got to consider my, and I'm going to be serious for a second, but back then, like, I was like basically almost a no one. Like, I had done a couple of Marvel things and, not a lot.
Yeah.
So I wasn't really known or successful.
Yeah.
So being in that group for me was a big showcase,
Yeah.
Because I was seen amongst, people that I admired and that were way much more famous than I was. So
sure.
So
yeah. Jamie, he's implying that he's actually a someone now,
Yeah, I was implying that things have changed since
things
then.
have changed a lot.
But
yeah.
Now it happens to people that come into our group and look at me as that. But
what I'm saying is you live your reality and Jamie's going to do everything he can to back you up,
Exactly.
That's exactly how it was when I came into the Inkpulp team. Matteo was that guy for me. I looked at Matteo. I was like, much
really
more famous than me.
God, man, I never think of famous. I'll tell you this, Matty. Like, I'm hanging out with a couple of guys offline. A guy by the name of John Amore, who we've had on the show before. A guy by the name of Dave Tran, who I think I've mentioned in passing and just in our conversations. But they brought up photos or screenshots of your upcoming book. We should talk about that, by the way. Your upcoming book. There's a big push for it right now, and they were saying like, "Holy shit! Look at these pages. Look at the special. I think it's the opening splash that you put up recently." Yesterday,
yesterday. Yesterday, I posted the opening page. I actually realized that I've never done it, and it's not a page that sells a lot of, doesn't spoil anything. So I was like,
yeah. And I think Dave took a screenshot and put it up, and there's a regularness of hanging out with you guys. It's like, somebody will compliment the quality of the videos or the way it's edited together and how seamless it is. And it's happened a couple of times, like who's editing your videos. This is how invisible Jamie is. Somebody was watching the show and said something like, "Oh, do you guys just let the camera run? Or like just record?" I'm like, yeah. That's what we do. We just record. You know what I mean?
It just comes out. It just happens.
Yeah. It's that well assembled. All the Lego pieces seem to fit together really, really well. And I go, no, there's actually a guy that's doing the magic that's making the thing look as invisible as it does. Their job is pretty invisible and seamless and makes the show come out seamless. And on top of that, the hype behind the show, like all the clips that you're seeing, that's all offloaded to somebody who's better at that job than we are. We just retweet everything,
Yeah.
And it just goes to show
that, it's not even us that we're talking. Like Jamie put our faces and our appearances in an AI program that does everything. So this whole podcast and all the stuff that I'm saying right now, Jamie is typing it on a keyboard.
So like you want
That's
to
why you guys
my
are so
jokes are
complimentary
amazing.
about me. That's why you guys are always complimenting me, because I'm just sitting there like, Jamie's so fucking sick, man. Jamie's amazing.
Yeah. What's the point I was trying to make? Because you guys are derailing the shit out of me. Anyway, so people talk about the quality of the show, and then I'm hanging out with, there's a level of sort of like immunity that I get when I think of like in the normalness of hanging out with you guys, right? But then somebody will highlight it. In your case, Maddie, it was the pages from your book, right? I've yet to commit it to clearly. Jamie, I'm gonna like pantomime, like, but no words are gonna come out of my mouth. And you put in the words of the title of Matteo's book that I have yet to commit to.
I'll do it live. I'll do it right now. You go.
I don't know what it is, dude.
It's the fourth father.
Okay. All right. There it is. And
but you can call it your book, and I'll know that
your book, Matteo, the book that you're about to release, the Fourth Father.
Yeah.
And somebody was they were taking screenshots of it, that page in particular, and they were like, "Holy shit, man, this thing looks so fucking good," And again, there's a normalness in hanging out with you guys to be like, "Oh yeah, that's just what the guys do. That's just the craft that they output." But then you take a step back and try to see it through somebody else's perspective, and you're like, yeah, this is pretty fucking cool, And I was in that moment, I felt in both of those cases, and the example that I just gave you, Jamie, and right now, Matteo, was like, I felt a tinge of pride to be like, oh, holy crap, these guys are craftsmen. They really know what they're doing, and it's blowing everybody else away. And I undervalue it on purpose when we're all hanging out together, just so I don't feel like a complete piece of shit,
Well, yeah, there's two factors. Like the first one is also that you've seen like that opening page. I think it shared it with you guys as soon as I finished it. Sure. So you saw it more than 2 years ago at this point. Probably.
Yeah.
And also your shitty personality as well, which tends to
I think that's number
bring me
one.
down all the time.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, yeah, but the fact that I said it at a second, it didn't mean that it was the less important.
I think it's a primary driving force of me trying to keep you down, which is really starting to get annoying because it's working less and less. You know what I mean? And these guys are just like beaming over it, and they're saying, "Oh, dude, I can't wait until it comes out." And again, I felt that tinge of pride to be like, "This is so awesome. here's Matteo in that photo. You admitted it to yourself. You're like, I was not really a name. I was not really a blah. But nowadays, between the fourth father images, and on top of that, like you basically, there's no locked door to you. You can go into any office in the industry and be like, yeah, look, I want a job. And people probably fawn over the opportunity. But then they said something that I took exception to. I'm like, fuck you, which is, dude, can you imagine?
It was a very
it's not
big
if,
compliment.
okay?
So that pissed you off a lot.
Yeah, it's so annoying. Like I wanted to go to Italy with a shovel and just start whacking you across the head. They were like, it wasn't even an, if, it was a when. Can you imagine when he wins the Eisner? And I was livid. I was so fucking pissed. I was like, fuck you, he's going to win an Eisner. Not because it was stupid, right? Not because it was dumb, but it actually could possibly happen. And I just know when it does, when it does. I don't know what the category.
God. Oh my God.
I don't know what the category, what we need to do in order to have it be in the running to be like, let's go submit it, right? Which is immediately, that's where my head started to go, right? Which is like, let's go submit it. You will just be insufferable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like right
God.
now, yes. I'm looking at the UI for our recording software, and it's broken down into perfect 33 percentiles. I think when you win that Eisner, it's just going to be so difficult to deal with.
You're already saying when you win. You didn't say if. Dude. So you're already getting there as well.
No, because I've seen, and listen, I'm going to give you the most backhanded compliment, more than I typically do. I've seen the pages, and now I think it's just a matter of submitting it. I've never thought about wait, why are we not making moves into that place? Because how amazing would it be for a, non-mainstream book to be not just to be in contention, which I believe it's highly, that's a no-brainer for it to be into contention, but to actually go and win it. So why don't we go submit to just be like, yeah, let's go put the book in.
What do you mean by submit?
Because in order for it to be eligible for an Eisner nom, we have to go submit it for contention.
Oh shit! Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. They just don't pick you out of a hat. Jesus Christ, your fucking ego. You know what I mean? You still have to take steps to go do the thing. Let's go. Let's go do it.
I didn't know. I thought this was an industry, and if my stuff is in the industry, it would. Eventually somebody will see it, and eventually somebody will decide for it to be one of the, possible nominees.
I can see Matteo retroactively submitting every book he's ever done this year.
So yeah. Now I'm submitting 95 books next week. Hey, how about this? And this? And how about this? So,
King of Spies, Mr. Freeze?
In the many fantasy scenarios that is in your head, that's the lowest of the possibilities. You know what I mean? So, this one in specific is actually possible.
So let me get this straight. So in any category, even whatever, best series, when we're talking about the mainstream, not indie books and stuff.
Yeah.
So even, I don't know, Batman issue number 536 is in contention this year for, it means that DC told
if it came out
guys over there
within the context of a submission year, right? And this is how it works in film and music and blah, 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 right? The label typically, in this case, the publisher typically puts in the work for consideration.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So I think it's well worth doing it. If for nothing else, I think there should be some level. It's a good contender, Maddie. But then I'm so conflicted in supporting
it would be on independent books.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Yeah. I'm conflicted because I want to support you, but I can see the inevitability. And it hurts me to my soul to be like, this fucking guy who nobody knew from Mario to Luigi. They didn't know you from any other Italian. Fast forward to like right now. How many years is that? How long ago? Decade easily, right?
Oh, what? Since back
Of
then?
like you being you could have been some guy who was working the local taco stand who just decided to walk into the convention and nobody knows you to like right now.
So 15 years.
A decade and a half. And you are like, I'm looking at the craft, dude, and it's so freaking high. And it's really, really annoying for me to be talking this lovingly about your body of work to the point where I'm like, let's go submit.
Because every time you say something nice, immediately you have to compensate with something mean. It's amazing.
It's just the level of
you
cope
cannot
that I have
just
to
leave
deal
it
with.
at that.
No, you know it. You know I can't. It's so annoying to see something that good, and not have it be celebrated in the same levels as everybody else, only because, to your point right now, you didn't know that you had to submit. Do you know what I mean? And a part of me wants to scuttle it, wants to torpedo it and be like, oh yeah, let me submit for you, Matteo, and not submit it. You know what I mean? To sabotage the hell out of it.
On one hand, though, you got to admit, it's a good thing that I didn't even know that I had to submit it. Because it means that I don't really care about that. I wouldn't mind. I would love to win
let's go do it, man.
A prize.
Let's go do it. Yeah, and then from there, once you win, here's the vengeance, in my opinion. Here's the long-term vengeance. As soon as it wins, Jamie can start charging you specifically more per episode.
It becomes an Eisner winning podcast at that point.
That's
an
right.
Eisner Award winning podcast. So the price doubles.
We are by proxy an Eisner winning podcast.
Yes, but at that point, whatever you have to advertise on the podcast, then I need a cut from that because I gave the Eisner to the podcast. I brought the Eisner into the podcast.
Yeah, I'm trying to do the cost benefit of analysis of how uncontrollable your ego is going to be if and when you win.
But still, to be considered in the indie comics category, you see, I'm starting to ask a question.
Holy shit, man! So, this is out of control.
To be considered in that category, does it still need like a publisher or something?
No, you're the publisher.
Okay, it's I guess it's Inkpulp Press. Even though we did it through Kickstarter, it doesn't matter.
Oh
right?
crap! Yeah, it's through Shawn. Now Shawn's ego is going to go through the ceiling.
Now Shawn's an award-winning publisher.
Now you're surrounded.
It's difficult. It's difficult being an idea man, and it works against me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But from my experience, whenever we actually talk about stuff, that makes it not happen. So the fact alone that we're talking about it and finally gets put into words, it's not gonna happen. So you're fine.
Okay, I'm gonna use Jamie as a point of reference. When have we ever talked about stuff and it not happening?
I can't think of it.
See? He's proof positive.
That could just be that I don't pay attention.
Hey, that's listen, don't say anything. I'm trying to make a point, which is, when we talk about stuff, it happens. We manifest things into reality, you guys.
By the way, going back to my book, which we never left actually as a subject.
Yeah. We're still
Jamie,
here.
I wanted to, I've already done it multiple times via WhatsApp, but I wanted to congratulate you in person for the fucking amazing video you did.
Oh, thank you, man.
Thank people
you. I
have
appreciate
already
that, Matteo.
seen it on YouTube, but on my social media. It's fucking amazing, man.
I thought you were going to say I want to congratulate you on being part of the rollout for my book. I thought you were going to spin it that way.
No. It was just sincere. Like fucking
Thank you,
amazing.
Matteo.
And everyone who's seen it is even my girlfriend that always like, you see this guy over here, Eric, she brings me down like the same way, if not worse. Even her, she had to admit, like she saw the video and she was like, it's really nice. So for her to say that, it means that it really is nice.
Okay, listen, what was the video? I literally did not pay attention to what the video was. Was there just a thing and I just retweeted it and there was more production to it? Did you make it touching, Jamie? Did you make it like
I tried to
relevant
make it really
and-
heartfelt, Eric.
yeah, and like super impactful? Holy crap, man!
Oh yeah, it's amazing, man.
My annoyance just shot up by like 6-7% of how good this book is going to be. When is it coming out, Maddie?
The campaign will actually start. We're planning on having it start mid March 2026.
Yeah.
So that's
2026. So you have what, 60 days? You're running it for 30 or 60? How long?
30. Yeah.
Okay.
Plain and simple.
All right. So between now and then, I got to find a way to hurt you a lot. Or excuse me, help.
It made me think, though, see when Eric said about it being heartfelt, I was thinking that while I was editing it, Matteo. See that whole hope sequence that we used in the trailer? If people have watched it, they know what we're talking about. That's really beautiful, like, dialogue in that sequence. I know it's like, well, caption boxes, whatever. But that made me think, like, how difficult was the translation process of that for you? Because you wrote it in Italian and then got it translated.
Oh, I have a literary translator translating everything.
But how much did it change from the original Italian, or is the sentence structure pretty much the same, or is it pretty different?
Pretty much, yeah. But I wasn't worried about those parts. But there's other parts, like there's a certain point at the beginning. There's it's actually in that issue number 0. There's a dialogue between two old people on the phone, and I wanted them to speak as they were old people. You know, so using a kind of lingo, a kind of, slang, I don't know, to define it, that's typical of old people. And I would never been able to do that, and there's gonna be a lot of, scenes that happen, a lot of flashback scenes, and I'll need people to have a certain language, which I would mean never able to translate myself, So, yeah.
You've already launched the campaign. You've already launched the sign up for the pre-launch, no?
Yeah. It's doing well. Like for the first 3 days, we're already at like 300 people.
Well, say it again. Where can they find it?
Well, you can find it on Kickstarter or wherever on my social. My social
the link will be in
media.
the description of all these episodes.
Yeah, it's in the description of this episode. It's everywhere. And if you want to read the first 20 pages for free, you just subscribe to my newsletter on matteoscalera.com. You'll have access to the first 20 pages completely for free. And on that, you will have a link to the Kickstarter campaign. So you can get there as well. And although this one is probably gonna come out after New York, but if not, like if you're gonna be at New York Comic Con, I'm gonna be having actually physical copies of the book. So
they're handing out for free.
Be given, I'm gonna hand it out for free. So
if this comes out after New York and you didn't get one, suck it, nerd. You missed out.
Well,
on
there's
it.
gonna be other chances to have it. There's gonna be for sure OAX in February. And after OAX, we're planning on doing the famous like Inkpulp tour. So I'm gonna be having all the copies there because we're gonna get closer and closer to the actual campaign. So I'm gonna promote the shit out of the campaign in that period.
Allow
me
and Jamie to help you as you go. Speaking of Jamie, are you going to be in OAX this year? Yes, and then the tour as well.
Yeah,
or no?
Yeah, both.
Holy crap, that's going to be so great, man. I'm going to have somebody to hang out with, you know what I mean? As opposed to like these dum-dums. One more thing. Like as I was scrolling through the pictures that we've taken with each other, I was like, where is this photo of me and Manny? Because I can't find it. Thank you to Shawn to like forwarding it because he had it on hand. But I went through my history with my conversation with Shawn in the photos that we've sent to each other. And I was like, where is this? And I realized there's a photo of Shawn taking a picture with his shorts. And you know which shorts I'm talking about. It's like the camouflage for a broken TV set, where all the colors just go on this crazy, like whatever, you know what I mean? Like it's just every color on the RGB on his shorts, but it's in camouflage. So I'm trying to think like, who are you hiding from at that point? and it reminded me,
From
like,
Palestinians.
oh yeah, there's a reason why I don't hang out with these idiots at the shows. It's just so off-putting. So I'm glad that you're going to be there, Jimmy.
Just rolled right over.
By the way,
I would have as well.
Eric, I've sent you the video. So
Yeah, I see it. I'll watch
chat.
it in a bit.
and I wanted to ask you, Jamie. So, and by the way, the translator that I just spoke about, her name, although it's she, is Jamie.
Oh, very cool.
Fun fact. And fun fact. Very fun.
It's like a roller coaster ride. How fun that was.
So Jamie, I've been meaning to ask you for a while. So you're planning on doing like a documentary of the Inkpulp tour, right?
Yeah.
Is that known already, or did Matteo just freaking blow up your plan?
No. We mentioned
Mateo's
that
talking
here
about
and there. Yeah.
Mateo's talking about the documentary of the tour.
All right.
Yeah. So what's the plan if you can talk about it?
I'm announcing it now. I'm doing a documentary of the documentary while we're on tour together.
Just me.
So there's going to be
filming.
Jamie filming us and Eric filming Jamie.
Yeah. And just, yeah.
You need to pay twice for it.
So if you can talk about it, is there any specific plan for the documentary? Meaning, is it going to be available for free on YouTube or under payroll, whatever? What's the plan? Or you don't have any plan yet?
I don't think we've spoke about it at all. My instinct would be Patreon. Sign up at the Patreon and the link in the description, everybody. But yeah, that would be my instinct.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's going to be like free for subscribers, or it's going to be like a specific thing that you have to pay for it, like a pay-per-view?
I think that is up to you guys. I don't want to make that call. That's up to you guys. But I would just put it on Patreon. Just get the sign-ups.
Can I ask you, Jamie, when I hear a documentary, I think like, the Paul Rubin one just came out for P.U. Herman. What's that called? I can't remember what the title of it on HBO. And then there's the most recent one I just watched is of Charlie Sheen, right? Which is fascinating, by the way. Do you think I'm curious to understand what your perspective is of the things that I could make a documentary of. These guys are fascinating. There's something interesting about these guys that I want to. What's the runtime? You think 72 minutes, typical? Maybe
when
less.
You said
maybe
Charlie
more.
Sheen there, all I thought was we need to get Matteo hooked on drugs, and then we're really selling this documentary. You know what I mean? Then we're
let him
making money,
go
guys.
back into his drug use from back in the day.
It's pretty easy to hook me on drugs, to be honest with you.
Just leave it on the floor.
He's just going to fall off the wagon completely.
No, just say, hey, Matteo, take this. That's it. It's so easy. There's not going to be a lot of resistance.
Yeah, I'm just
Especially
I'm curious.
if I'm abroad, so, there's no danger for my family or anything, just mine. That's fine.
Yeah, it's just me sending back footage to your girlfriend going like, look what Jamie did. Mateo's just...
Don't blame me.
It was you supplying the drugs. There's a part of me that always, again, because hanging out with you guys have been so normalized, I never think of it as anything interesting. Right? It's just us hanging out. It's just us going to dinner. It's just us like drawing. There's got to be something, Jamie, the kindle, the little tiny spark of, hey, I think that'd be good. What led you down that path to be like, hey, I think that's interesting? I
think it's so obviously I would like I said, I always wanted to work in comics. That was my favorite shit. Still is my favorite shit. But it's I think you guys are maybe desensitized to how interesting the behind the scenes of that whole world is. You know what I mean? I still need to, even the WhatsApp groups we're in and stuff, when you guys send in art, I need to hold myself back from being and fanboying out a little bit. You know what I mean? And I think that's the majority of the audience. They just want a little peek behind the curtain of what you guys are really like, what the world's really like, what those... Yeah. Because you need to think from a fan's perspective, if they go to a con and they see you sitting at a table signing, or they see you on a panel or whatever, they never really get to see what you're actually like as people. You know what I mean? Podcasts break that barrier a little bit, but in every other interaction, it's very staged, very not performative by you guys, but just by the nature of what they are.
There's various grades of separation, Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. So to tear that down and just see what does this actually look like? You know what I mean? And I think that's what makes it interesting.
Yeah.
I think
Also, like from I'm kind of in between the two things because, of course, I'm in it. I've been in it for almost 20 years now, and but at the same time, I'm from another country, so I'm kind of in between. You know, I'm not a a fanboy anymore. But at the same time, I my life experience is different, so it's less natural for me. It's a more specific. When I tell people in Italy what I do, and then I travel to the States to do shows, everybody's like, "Oh, so curious! Like, so what do you do at show?" You know, it's so because it's unusual to have somebody that flies over from to another country and blah blah blah. So I understand that thing. I still have the excitement. Like if I think about us doing shows, it's exciting that I'm here right now. I'm on the other side of the ocean. Then I gotta grab a plane. And then we make plans for the show. And then I have to call this person because we have to print this thing. And then the prints are going to be handled by somebody. And then we have to price up stuff with Jason. And then we go there. There's a list. And then we go there. There's clients. We sit down for a certain period of time. And then at the end of the day, we go out to dinner with this other professional who had a nice dinner with, I don't know, Scotty Young or whatever, some big name. And then whatever, I have a meeting with Frank Miller, whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
And then tomorrow we'll have lunch with this person. Then we have to sit down at the table. And then, there's all these things that if you think about it, they're really interesting. And I'm always really excited to do shows because of this thing, because especially if you think about my profession normally, like daily, I'm just going upstairs in my almost underwear, and I just draw. And then
almost means not even underwear. That's what that implies.
Yeah.
Like I almost put underwear on, then I just
on the other way around because I put pants over the underpants. But
the way you make it sound, you put on pants and then you put the underwear on top of the pants, Superman style.
Exactly. Like So at the end of the day, I wake up and then I come upstairs, I draw a little bit, and then I put, I scan them and I send the stuff via email. So it's almost not real. So for me, that's the only time where my work is actually real, because I see the people that I work with in person. We shake hands, we talk about, so what are we going to do for the next, story arc or whatever, or we talk about a job, a thing, a gig that we did back in the day, so it makes it real, and it's exciting for me,
Jamie, he just broke down in like 3 minutes of like some of the things that he does at these shows, potentially stuff that you could capture on film. Is that exciting to you? Does that?
It is,
okay.
Eric, because I think I don't know, I feel like I'm coming off the back of the last episode that I edited yesterday was the Dean Haspiel episode.
Sure.
And I don't know, you guys weren't in the recording, but Dean tells a lot of stories about like being in the studio with Bill Sienkiewicz and stuff like that. And it's like in comics, all these stories are like, I'm trying to think of the right word, but they're like, I don't know how to describe it, but they're very ephemeral. You know what I mean? Like they're really interesting, cool stories, but you can never feel like you actually, there's like a mysticism to it. You know what I mean? Because that's all it is. It's just word of mouth. And to have any of that stuff documented, like the other thing that I'm working on that I've not say here, but like a big aim of all of it is to like actually have some of this stuff concrete for people to engage with. You know what I mean? I feel like it's such an interesting world that's very under documented other than stories. You know what I mean?
Sure. Okay, man, listen, it's your time. You're going to get an amazing set of footage. And the only reason I laugh at it is I'm also trying to think of, the footage that you could potentially capture with Shawn. And Shawn, similar to Matteo, only with more sugar. Shawn is excitable about so many different things. And we just end up writing with him because more than anything, we want to make sure that he's okay, at some of these events, short of like, running into to people's belts or whatever. And, you're going to get a lot of great footage from Shawn, but I just want to warn you ahead of time that most of the time that I'm at these shows, if the camera ever pans to me, it's just the most boring shit that you will ever get. in your entire life. Like everything that Matteo just said right now happens almost after the show or potentially even like before the show, like the lunch, maybe there's a couple things there, but like at the beginning of the show, everybody's having breakfast. At the end of the show, there's like 5 hours where, I don't even know what they do. Right. But I suggest you go with them. You know what I mean? Go hang out with those guys because you want the part that Matteo is talking about when he's just at his studio and he's just like drawing. That's what happens for me for 5 hours after the show. It would be a great, I'm not telling you how to do your job, but it'd be a great contrast to have like that explosive after show excitement. And for 2 seconds, just cut back to the hotel of me just like sitting there watching the menu on the TV. You know what I mean? And then just cut back to the really super exciting stuff that you really truly want to capture.
So Eric, okay. I get you that you're gonna be tabling at OAX as well.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So I haven't been tabling with you for like a minute now, but if things are still as they used to be, Jamie, another interesting thing would be to collect all the times that somebody stopped by at his table and he's not there. And they're gonna ask, so where's Eric? And me replying as I used to, like, I don't know. He probably went to the hotel room. He'll be back probably. You can come back probably in 30 minutes or so to try and see if he's back. I said that phrase probably
for the whole week or however long we're out there. I need a GoPro right there.
Yeah, we need that.
It's very kind of Matteo to like crowd control on my behalf, but that was when I used to have people coming to the table. It's easier to get away from the table now when nobody's looking for you. You know what I mean? It's incredibly flattering when Jason goes, somebody was looking for you, and I get half excited. I was like, oh, really? They were? And they were like, yeah, you owe them art from like 3 years ago. And I'm like, oh shit, don't talk to that guy. But what I think Matteo was talking about is back when people were still looking for me. Now, Matteo doesn't have time for that. I don't know if you've seen Matteo's line at shows.
Yeah,
what's the best way I can?
I don't have a line. I don't have a line. I rarely have a line or something.
That's a lie. Let me tell you why.
I had a line back like a couple of years ago when I started doing like signatures only at specific hours of the show.
Oh, sure.
In that case, I had some lines, but now I don't do that anymore. So I don't know. I rarely have lines.
Wait till you get the Eisner, Matteo. Then
wait until you get the Eisner by accident.
Well, that
on
will
purpose.
happen. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I remember this one time it was New York Comic Con in specific. And this is when I said to myself, like, I don't think this is fun for me anymore. Right. And I know that comparison is a thief of joy. So I remember when we were like, hey, Matteo, how is Shawn's like, man, I'm busy this weekend. Right. I was like, are you really? I don't know why I said it like that. Like I was surprised. Like, how could you possibly be busy at these shows? But anyway, Shawn shows me his commission list and it's like 6 or 7 things. New York, typically very, very busy show for commissions, which is great. And I thought like, oh, holy crap, you're significantly more busy than I am, Shawn. And Shawn has become a known sort of like commodity and quantity at New York. So people go there to get his commissions. And it's rare that I show up to that show. In that particular one, I may have had 2. And again, I've been out of the mainstream eyeball for like forever. So, and it was at some point I just stopped taking them because I just couldn't deliver in a level of quality that I was happy with. Like it just didn't interest me to do commissions anymore. Yeah. And then Matteo goes, I think sheepishly, he goes, oh yeah, I'm pretty busy too. Right. And we were like, oh, yeah? How busy are you? And I don't know if you've ever seen our commission list before, Jimmy. Matteo, if you have a copy of it or a photo, please give it to, omit all the personal information of the people who were like getting commissions from us. But our commission list from Jason is this, what looks like an Excel sheet printout, the person's name here,
their chart,
their information so we can text them when it's done and the character requests and how much it costs and blah, blah, blah. And based on that, I think the way Matteo's brain works, Maddie, correct me if I'm wrong, but you like, this one takes me this long, so I'm going to prioritize these and then do these first and then blah, blah, blah. I'll warm up with this one and then get to the back end, blah, blah, blah. And so it's like, it's easily on one side. Okay. On one side, I think it was horizontal that year, like 20. no less than, right? It was 20 on one side, right? And Matteo goes like, oh, and he had populated all 20 slots that show, right? And I looked at it, I'm like, and then he did this thing, and I don't know if he did it on purpose, but he's not an asshole, so let me assume he was just like innocent, you know? He's like, oh yeah, I have, and he flips it over, and the other side, which has no brackets, no boxes, no Excel sheet, anything into it, it's 14 more on the back end of that. And New York is a 4-day show, 3-day show?
4 days, yeah. 4 days.
So he's like, oh, I got this many, and that's on day one. Most of the time, it trickles in through the week for regular people, you know? But Maddie's on day one populated the front end of that sheet and the back end of that sheet. And I thought to myself,
I remember that New York. It was crazy. I did like 32 or something. Yeah.
Yeah, it was huge. And I think that's the New York that I'm talking about. And I thought to myself, like, who the hell is this guy now? What did you do? It couldn't have been Mr. Freeze. It had to have been something else that got you this level of popular.
Yeah. It was before that. Yeah, it was before that.
Which is even more annoying because, like, you didn't do shit before that. You didn't do shit.
I think it was around the time when I did that Batman issue, that one Batman issue that I did, and that I saw the difference. Like amongst those, probably there was at least like 10 or 15 Batmans to do.
Yeah. Anyway, it is to say that you're going to get a ton of good footage of these guys, Jamie. You know, Matteo from the professional end, what it means to like sit there and be a name. He's the name now. He's not lying when he said back in the day when he first joined the club, when he first joined the crew, it was Dave and Dan, and you know, and those guys haven't diminished. They're still names, but Matteo ranks right up there. So you'll get that perspective, and then you'll get like the over ADHD sugared up kid, you know, perspective when you see Shawn. You know, because Shawn has to fill his time with something, and I think that's the kind of footage that you'll get. And then for maybe 2 or 3 seconds, cut to me and just be bored out of your fucking mind, and then go cut back to the guys who are actually relevant.
So, Eric, I wanted to ask you something. Is there ever a time when you were doing shows like the way I used to, like being super like always at the table, super like serious about the work? Not that you're not as serious, but you know, since I know you, since I've been knowing you, you've always had that attitude of, you know, I'm gonna finish this commissions, you know, in my hotel room. Even before, I remember there was a time when I started doing shows with you, and you had a lot of commissions to do.
Sure,
there's a time, and I remember you not being at the table, as I was mentioning. You go back to the hotel and working on them at the hotel room and blah blah blah.
Yeah,
was there a time when you had a different attitude where you were more like, you know, more like excitable about the whole thing?
Yeah, I think so. I think similar to you, there was that version in which this is the dream, right? To be like, there was a customer version of me that would always walk around at shows and be like, oh my gosh, that is my favorite artist. That's Kevin Nolan. That's, you know, whomever, like insert favorite artist here. And it would be so cool to be behind that table, you know, to just represent my work as best as I could. And the flattery of that, of people coming up to you and saying like, dude, can you draw for me and I'll give you money for it. And then I took a break. I think what sort of not soured, but gave me perspective, where I announced that I wasn't going to do mainstream characters anymore.
Remember, right? I remember that moment.
And I said like, hey, listen, I'm happy to draw for you. But you have to leave it to me what to draw. And somewhere in there, things changed, right? Somewhere in there, people were like, there's a handful of people that did really love me, like love my work enough to have me draw for them and just left it to me, whatever to draw, right? They didn't, you know, I said, hey, I'm going to draw whatever I want. And there was a couple times when people were like, oh, I just kind of wanted to draw, you to draw, insert whatever I was working on at the time or the stuff that they had seen online from me, you know? And that kind of not necessarily sobered me up, but gave me a different perspective of sometimes why people come up and ask me to draw, you know? And it's a combination, obviously, of like, hey, here's Eric's, whatever, the aesthetic, the way of he draws, and it happens to be Batman. But I think at some point I realized, some of you guys don't care that I'm drawing. It's just you love Batman.
Yeah.
And it didn't sour
a lot of it is that.
Yeah. And it didn't sour it for me. It didn't make me go like, oh, how dare you not love me for me and my work and blah, blah, blah.
No, it just gives you a different couple of lenses in which to work.
It is.
Look at things. Yeah.
Exactly. And so when I got into that space, I started, and then I got back to drawing, fan art later on. I still enjoyed it, but it really did make me go like, what is fun for me to draw?
Yeah.
That's the other integer that started plugging into my decision making of like, that's not fun for me to draw. I'm not going to take that commission, And so not for anything else of like, I don't know, when I say that out loud, it kind of sounds like this weird elitist bullshit. And I guess there's a part of it for that. But at some point, the value of drawing anything and everything started to lessen. And the value of like, I'm excited to draw this for you because it shows in the work that I do. And you're going to pay good money for this. You're paying decent money for me to draw for you. I would rather be excited by it rather than just like, oh, I populated 40 slots on a commissions list, if that makes any sense,
Yeah, absolutely.
So there was a version of me that started the way you're talking about. I'm at the table. What is it that you want me to draw? Anything and everything from, I don't know that character, but dude, I'd love to be able to draw that for you, that kind of a thing, because I've never done it before. And then again, that experience of like,
and aside from commissions, like I meant the whole attitude towards the being at the show, like being excited to be there. And, I can't wait to be at the show and, do whatever, either doing commissions or just talking to people and being at the table amongst my colleagues.
That was fun. That was really, really fun. But truth be told, and I don't know how this is going to like people's perspective of me changes or how it will change people's perspective of me. I love meeting and being able to talk comics with people. Like you want to talk about whatever it is that you're super passionate about. If I don't know about it, I'm going to start asking you more. I can't remember. I just had a conversation with somebody about, Absolute Martian Manhunter. And I was like, what is that comic book? I love hearing about those conversations, especially if you're passionate about it. But ultimately, like, I like hanging out with you guys. It's the same thing where you're drawing in your studio all day. And when you finally get out, I want to know what it's like to have an outside life outside of just going upstairs in my half underwear or whatever it is that you do.
Yeah.
It's got a lot to do with like, I don't get to hang out with real, with my friends who are also artists. Right. And so I take more, that's more valuable to me. If I have to put a value system in it, I'll remember more of that than being at a show. And I think that's the reason why I'm like rarely at the table, because I don't get to see Scotty Young all that much. So I'll go bug Scotty for like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever it is that his schedule will allow for. Rarely now because Scotty's super busy. But if there's an artist that I don't know, I like discovering them at Artist Alley and getting a chance to just sit there and look at their work. And I know it kills Jason when I'm at the table because he does the same for you. We're like, I don't know when he'll be back. And then later on, he'll be like, dude, you need to freaking sit at the table because I can't sell art when you're not here. I get it. But really, the value of it for me, the value that means more to me than anything is being able to hang out with you guys before the show.
And you even barely do that when you're at shows.
Not during the show. But if you think about it, if we are hanging out enough beforehand, I remember those times more. Those are the Polaroid pictures that I take with my head when we're hanging out before the show.
Yeah.
And maybe sometimes during dinner, whatever it is. Yeah. Yeah, there's this one.
That's awesome.
There's this one in Jamie. We were going to Emerald City this last time that we all hung out together, and I can't remember how it happened, but I don't think we were allowed to check into the hotel yet, something like that. And it was an Airbnb, and in any other situation, you'd be able to drop it off in the lobby, leave your luggage there, and we go find lunch. But in this case, the Airbnb wasn't ready yet. We were there super early. And in this area where we were staying in Seattle, we were looking for this restaurant, and in this particular one, we were in a hill, and the restaurant wasn't obvious from the street. You had to go like down in the back alley and down into like a second level. Very, very, very European, in my opinion. Whereas like, oh, it's not immediately available. We had to go behind a pink door, some weird shit like that. And but because the hotel or the B&B wasn't ready yet, I had this snapshot of my head of both Matteo and Shawn dragging their huge pieces of luggage. In Matteo's case, he's traveling internationally, so it's massive. And I can't get that. That is rent free in my head of them maneuvering this steep hill in Seattle, dragging their, not just on the streets, but into the restaurant, their luggages together. And that to me is like why I go to those shows, you know? And there's instances we have to go.
Even your fondest memory are of us suffering from some reason.
Yeah. And why wouldn't it be? You know what I mean? I'm like, I love these guys, but I'm not going to help them with their stupid luggage. Congratulations for not traveling light, idiots, you know?
Oh yeah, right. Because you were not attending the show. You're just there to, you know,
just to
see
hang
if
out.
something bad happened to us. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, thank you, Lord of Darkness, for letting me watch Matteo drag 45 pounds of luggage through the Seattle streets. All right, that's an hour. Home. Let's not take up more of Jamie's professional time, because we're not the only people that he's trying to hang out with and do professional
and by the
work
way,
for today.
Before Orlando, Jamie's gonna be visiting here as well.
In Italy.
Yeah, it's gonna be here a couple of days maybe before the.
Are you guys? Are you there just to hang out with Maddie, or just Italy in general?
We're there to film something. I'm not going to say what it is yet, but we're going to film something.
All right, that sounds pretty dang exciting. Okay, when I thought of this, doing this episode kind of impromptu and getting it together, I'd realized that, oh yeah, this is going to be so much fun until like right now. I knew this was coming, and I had to prepare my anus, because I get some of that pain back. All of the punishment that I put you guys through. So, Maddie, we are now at the cutoff of this episode. Would you please sign us off?
Yeah. Before I do that, please subscribe to our Patreon.
This is late.
Whatever the fuck. Yeah.
Points for the attempt, Matteo. Points for the attempt.
Yeah. Gold star.
Go support the Fourth Father on Kickstarter. And if you want to read it for free, go to matteoscarrera.com, subscribe to my newsletter, and
Discord.
No.
Yeah, come and join our Discord, which is easily findable. Please come and hang out.
Believe the last one, Jamie.
I'll believe it. Don't worry.
Plenty of opportunities to come and help support us in that space. If you are interested in reading any of my books, Arc Athena 1-6 is available now. Go to iconicomics.com. Buy it as a bundle. You'll save a bundle. So there you go. All right, Maddie, here we go.
Jamie, you have to plug anything?
No, follow me on Instagram, Jamie Wood Edits, on everything. I don't post much, but anyway. This is long. Even for Matteo, this is long.
I know. I think he's doing it on purpose.
The stamina.
Can you imagine the blowjobs this guy can get?
I was thinking that's why I'm going to Italy. I can't wait.
You made me laugh. Either way, we realized it.
Inkpulp podcast.